Good morning. How you doing, everybody? Terry's here, looking forward to practice today. Andrea Marshall, happy Friday to you, dear. Lee, I hope you guys are all well. Good morning, bro. Hello, Mom. And any others that are going to join us today. The news is getting more and more sobering. And hi, Carrie. It's good to see you, dear. Uh, since you're right there, Carrie, thank you for your donation on the Cash App, and thank any of you that have helped us out, helped our studio out by making a donation on the Cash App for these free live classes that are on YouTube every single day. Sure to appreciate that. And for those of you that are sponsoring this channel on Patreon, thank you so much. We're developing more. We're developing a fuller program on Patreon here, but there's a lot going on, and trying to keep a kid occupied and learning at home has been a bit of a challenge. But it's really great to be able to practice every day. And some days like today, bless you, Carrie, some days I'm sore. Some days I'm tired, just like you are. And today's one of those days. So I'm just a little bit, ugh. But when I watch the news, and then we're going to get started. If you're watching this channel for the first time, this is a yoga class, and you can scrub right to it. But I tend to run at the mouth here sometimes, and I try not to. But when you see the news, if you're sequestered at home and quarantined, and you're healthy, and your family is healthy, there's zero to bitch about. And so I try not to pay attention to social media, try not to be on social media, but I have seen like people complaining about, it's another day in quarantine, I'm so unhappy and this sucks, and when can life go back to normal? Well, this is the yoga, because that's what yoga is. It's discomfort, and you don't kind of know when it's going to end. I mean, a yoga class is an hour long. You can count on an hour of sometimes discomfort and extreme challenge. But even in yoga, I try never to say like this pose ends in 5, 4, 3. Usually, I try not to do that, because you never know how long it's going to be uncomfortable. So I was thinking, what are my two biggest complaints in life right now? Like, the studio is shut down, so it's not making any money. So we're worried about whether or not I'll get any type of help from the government, or will people pitch in, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, because it's just kind of a cold, snowy day out here in Denver. There's a lot of snow on the streets. It's cold outside. I'm thinking I could be homeless. I'm not. I could have not know where my next meal is going to come from, and I've got food in the fridge. And so here's my two biggest problems in life. My two biggest problems. One is that on Wednesday night they did not broadcast Lego Masters, and I was like looking forward to that all day. That sucks. And then last time I went to the grocery store to stock up, they were all out of Goober Grape, and I had to buy, look at this, I had to buy Yipes and Stripes. I had to buy like ghetto Goober Grape, because I can't even really bring myself to open this. This is an emergency. This is, if this goes on for weeks and weeks and I just can't get a Goober Grape, I might have to bust into that. Those are my biggest problems. Those are first world problems. So that's it, man. That's it. I'm just doing this yoga today, even though I'm sore, because I wanted you to see what it's like for a yoga teacher to practice, because it's not as beautiful and effortless as sometimes they show in those videos, in which it's all been pre-recorded and edited and all that stuff. And I'm also an old man, so there you go. I just want to film this and go eat some oatmeal. That's my excitement for today. And it's becoming more and more my excitement, is I just want to get this yoga class done and go eat my oatmeal. So It's weird, guys. Let's do some yoga. Let's have some fun. Let's breathe. It's gonna be okay. All right. Point your toes at the top edge of your mat. Reach both hands up into the air. Unlock your knees and push your feet into the floor like you were pushing them into mud. When you exhale next, slowly hinge forward. Hinging at the hips, bending at the knees, placing fingertips on the floor or on the knees or shins or even the thighs. Take your feet out a little bit wider and start to shift your weight from foot to foot, the hips swaying to the right and to the left. Let your arms hang the way a trunk would hang off an elephant. And just sway side to side. And then you can start to take those sways a little bit more, turning right and left to start to access the side bodies. And keep yourself folded over your hips, knees slightly bent. Reach your hands for the ceiling, bind your hands behind you, and squeeze your palms together. And then just pull your knuckles back as you lift your heart and rise all the way up to standing. I'm going to whip off the hat there, slide the thumbs over the ears, go into a full skull hold. That's holding the sides of your head without weaving your fingers behind your back. And keep the elbows close to your face. As you lift your elbows up, look up at the ceiling and pull your groin back. Slowly turn your elbows to the right. Come back to center. Keep your elbows lifted. Turn them to the left so you're still looking up at the ceiling, guys. And then come back to center. And then slowly hinge forward. Reach down, fingertips to the floor again. Let's walk them to the right and keep them there for a moment. Push down into your right foot. Look over your right shoulder behind you. Walk your hands to your left till you can look over your left shoulder to see what's behind you. Push into that left heel. Walk your hands to center. Slide your left foot back. Lower your left knee down. And just push forward and back. No way to do this wrong, guys. Pull your hips back and forward. Plant both hands, step back, lie down on your belly. If you've got any objects like I do to your left, just go ahead and slide them to the side. And let's do just a quick roll to our left. We're going to go through a real basic flow today, really focus on breath, really focus on a few basic classic hatha poses. But we're going to work into an adaptation that I really like, that I named Mandasana. Push yourself off the floor, press back into crouching cat, lift your right leg up, open your hip, bend your knee, and just turn your right ankle a couple of times, clockwise, counterclockwise. Bring your knee through your arms, place your right foot next to your right hand. Reach both hands up into the air. Lift the back heel up high, look up at that space between your palms. And while your fingertips are reaching up, your shoulder blades are reaching down. Weight in the right heel. Whoa. Reach down. Step forward. Place your hands on your knees, lift halfway up. Exhale, touch your mat and look between your legs. Rise up. Reach your hands into the air. Exhale, hinge forward, touch your mat again. Lift your right leg. Step it back. Lower the knee and pull your hips forward and back. You can't do it wrong. You can push your knee out. You can make circles with the knee and the hip. You just can't do it wrong. All you're doing is moving and looking for the places that are tight, looking for the places that feel like there's a constraint or a snag or an issue, and not trying to fix it or overcome it, but just locate it. Slide your hands to the top, step back, lie down slowly on your chest. Reach your right hand to the right and roll to your right so you're facing the left. Not stretching into the shoulder as much as we can. Just initiating that first twist and opening of the shoulder as it's going to guide us to a gentler apex today. Slowly release. Slide your right hand under and push up and press back. Lift your left leg into the air. Open your hip and bend your knee and turn that lifted ankle like a magic wand in the air. Just turn it around a few times. And then step left foot between your thumbs and reach both hands up. You can always join your palms, but today I'm going open palms, and I'm creating that dynamic tension by imagining that I'm squeezing a balloon in my palms. Back heel is high, and the back leg is straight. I'm always actively in a lunge trying to pull the groin back so that I feel the back bend move up my back like a temperature, mercury in a temperature dial. Not a dial. What's the word I'm looking for? Bring your hands down. Place them on the top of your mat and step forward. Slide your hands up your shins. A temperature gauge, something like that. Plant your fingertips, bend your knees as much as you need to, and instead of grabbing your ankles and pulling, just plant your fingers and look between your legs and try to push into the heels a little bit more. And then rise up with bent knees, pushing your heels into the floor to reach your hands up for the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward, lift your left leg, and step it back. This time we're just going to go forward one time. Lower the knee, and pull the hips back. Right leg is straight. Please know you do not have to bring your heart down to your knee, your head down to your knee. All we want to do is push this right leg straight. This is the same salutation we've done a couple of times this week. It's a good one for the hamstrings. Come forward, plant the hands, step back, and do a push-up. Press back, lift the right leg, and exhale, step forward. Reach your right hand to the ceiling. Look up for your thumb. Take a deep breath. Reach down. Step to the top. Hands on the knees. Breathe in. Exhale. Plant the fingertips. Look between your legs and push into your heels. Bend the knee slightly. Rise up. Reach up. Connect the fingers and palms. Exhale. Fold forward. Lift your right leg as you breathe in. Exhale. Step back. Bring your knee gently to the floor. Press your chest forward. Exhale. Pull the hips back. Straighten the left leg. And just want to say this one more time. You can be fully upright. So instead of trying to think about folding over your leg, just think about lifting your heart, watching your foot, and sliding your heel out. Let's go for a straight leg, not necessarily for the fold over the leg. Come forward, step back, touch your chest to the floor, push and press, lift the left leg, and step to the top. Reach your left hand up. Find your left thumb, and then reach it down. Step to the top, hands on the knees, breathe in. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Even if you have to bend your knees, look between your legs and then just push into the heels. It doesn't mean your legs are straight. It just means that you're engaging the quads to release the hamstrings. Then bend those knees a little bit. Rise up, reach up. Let's do another set. Exhale, fold forward. Lift the left leg and exhale, step back. Lower the knee, press your chest forward, breathe in. Pull the hips back and push through the right heel. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, step back and do a push-up. Press back, lift your left leg. Excuse me, lift your right leg. My bad, guys. Exhale, step forward. Right foot forward. Reach right hand into the air. Reach down and step to the top. Hands on your knees, pull your collarbones forward. Exhale, touch the floor, look between your legs and push into the heels. Bend the knee slightly, rise up, driving through the heels to reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Right leg lifts. Step it back. Knee to the floor, chest forward. Exhale, pull the hips back and push the left heel through. Come forward, breathe in, step back, touch your chest to the floor, push, and press, left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, reach left hand high. Reach down, step to the top. Inhale, half lift, palms on the knees. Exhale, fingertips on the floor. Look between your legs and push into the heels. Bend the knees slightly and rise up. We're doing one more set. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Step back, breathe out. Knee down, chest forward. Hips back, push through the right heel. Come forward, breathe in. Step back, touch your chest. Push up, press back, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through. Right hand reaches up. Exhale, reach down, step left foot forward. Hands on the knees, breathe in. Fingertips on the floor, look between your legs, drive into the heels. Rise up with a squat. Exhale, fold. Right leg lifts. Exhale, step back. Inhale, knee to the floor. Exhale, pull the hips back, press through the left heel. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, chest to the mat. Push and press, left leg lifts. Exhale, step through. Left hand high, breathe in. Reach down, step to the top. Half lift. Exhale, touch the floor, look between your legs, push into the heels, stay here. Capture the big toes with the peace fingers or the quote fingers, the first two fingers on each hand. And while you're holding your big toes, try to push your heels into the floor and pull your armpits away from the floor. Lengthen the back of your neck. So draw a line from heel to heel and then just look right past that line. It feels like the crown of your head, where the button of a baseball cap would be, is just lifting away from the tailbone and the tailbone away from that invisible button. Release your big toes, hands on the knees. Press your chest forward. Rise all the way up. That felt good. All right, let's go ahead and turn to the side. Step your feet nice and wide. Looks like somebody new has joined us. Go ahead and leave a comment if you're a curious watcher. I want you to align your feet so that your right heel would point at your left arch or your left heel. Just make sure that your right heel isn't lined with your left big toe, okay? You wouldn't burst into flames if you did that, but we just want to be stable. That's really what it's about. It's not alignment. Nobody spontaneously exploded if their foot's in the wrong position. It just makes us more stable. Tilt your pelvis and place your right hand on your shin. Keep your left hand on your hip and slowly turn your chest away from the floor to the wall or to the screen you're watching. I hope your screen is facing my long edge of my mat. It's a great place. As long as your feet feel stable, you close your eyes. Just feel that sway. Feel the muscles that take over. Feel the muscles that relax to keep you from falling over. And even with 2 feet on the floor in a relatively stable position, you still might be really wobbly, especially if you close your eyes. It's important to know that's really normal. Bend your right knee and reach your right hand for the ceiling. You can place your left hand on your low back or leave it on your hip. And we're going to lower the left shoulder. Try to prevent yourself from turning your chest to the ceiling or looking at the ceiling. Trying to create more lateral flexion, which is side bending, not extension, which is back bending. And release. Straighten the right leg. Turn the foot in, turn the left foot out, and we're just going to do those same 2 poses on the other side. You never realize how much you touch your face until they tell you not to, or you're trying to remember not to. Tilt the pelvis, lean over your left leg. Keep your left leg straight without hyperextending it. Place your hand on your shin. Keep your right hand on your hip. So I wasn't bashful to mention that yoga teachers get sore. They get tired. And it's not always about the practice. Sometimes it's just life. It's taking care of the kids. It's doing the household chores. It's trying to manage the day-to-day stress of especially a world in transition. Bend the left knee, reach the left hand for the ceiling. Place your right hand behind your back or leave it on your hip. And lower your right shoulder. Now hold your mat down with your left foot. So leave a real good footprint of your left foot on your mat or the floor if you don't have a mat. It's not how deep we go in the poses today. It's how deep we breathe while we're doing whatever we're doing. So really focus on breath. We need those long, calming breaths through the nose. Release. Straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in, and hinge forward. 10 fingertips on the floor. Your feet don't need to go wider, although they can if that suits you. But I do want you to slide your butt from side to side and work into those deeper groin muscles by trying to keep your butt from lifting as you work from side to side. You can also place fists on the floor, more of like a gorilla variation. And then see if you can stir the pot. That means keep your butt low and try to make a small circle or oval over your mat. That's your knees pushing forward and the back of your knees pushing back as they bend and straighten. And then try to stir the pot the other way. Come to center and rise up. Now we're going to take that hip flexion into hip extension, but one side at a time. So turn your right foot out and then turn your left foot. Now you can keep your heel on the floor if that helps you with stability. You can also feel good about lifting that left heel if you'd rather do a lunge position versus a warrior one stance. But turn those hips so that they face the short back edge of your mat. And really, when I grab my hips and turn them, it's not really my hips that are turning, it's the back inner thigh. Remember, that's your steering leg. So if I pull left inner thigh back, It pulls left outer hip forward. It feels like I'm pulling my left butt cheek to the left or towards the camera there. And now we're going to go left hand to the floor or to the shin or to a yoga block. And if you don't have a block at home, remember a big book usually works. Now we're going to go right thumb to right hip crease. It would feel as though if you were wearing denim jeans, you would be trying to prevent somebody from putting change in your pocket or reaching into your pocket. And I want you to notice that when you try to push your right hip back, your torso wants to go to the right because of that tightness. Or the other thing that could happen when you try to push the right hip back is the inside edge of your right foot wants to come off the floor. So I want you to lift the pinky toe and put the big toe down on the mat. And then pull the chest forward over the big toe. It feels like you're trying to slide your mat forward with your right foot. Your right foot trying to slide forward pushes your right hip back. Now, if you'd like to go further, let's take it into a twist. Left hand on the floor, on a block, or on your shin. Turn your chest to the right. Remember, left heel can be down or lifted. We're just trying to straighten right leg and twist heart to the right. And release. Let's go ahead and walk our feet the other direction so we're facing the short top edge of the mat. And again, the back heel can be down or lifted depending on your preference today. Left thumb on the hip, right hand on the shin, the floor, or a block. And we want to encourage that left hip back without the torso going left or the inside of the foot peeling off the floor. So lift left pinky toe and press down onto left big toe. Push your left hip back, pull your heart forward. To get that extra energy out of your left thigh, try to slide your mat forward with your left foot. And if you'd like to twist, just turn the heart. Don't have to reach anywhere with the hands. Keep the inner edge of the left foot glued to the floor. Take one more breath. And as we exhale, we're going to release. Walk your hands back to center. Bend both knees. Toe heel your feet in a little bit. Squat down. You can walk your hands or slide the block forward until we're in a deep squat. Connect your palms. So we're going to sit the hips down towards the heels and ankles. And then we're going to work deeper into those hip flexors, particularly the TFL. Going to give an extra little love to that side of the thigh. One more breath wherever you are. And then push your butt back, toe heel your feet a little bit further apart. Let's turn to the right and lower the left knee down. Now for this next part, it would be really helpful if you had a block or something nearby like a chair or the couch, because we're going to try to reach down and not necessarily reach for the floor. But the first thing that I want you to do is either step right foot left or slide left knee right. Because what I want is for your right foot to be on the same invisible balance beam that your left knee and foot are on. Then we're going to take the block over to the right side, Or like I said, reach for a chair or the couch on your right, coffee table, whatever it may be. Use a book if you've got a big, thick one and you don't have a block. And then we're going to go left hand to the side of the head. And not only are we going to lower right ear towards the block or the floor, but we're going to actively try to push the hips a little bit left. Don't drop or draw your heart down. Think about you trying to crawl over a fence that you're kneeling next to. In other words, try to lift your heart up and over the right. Try to lift your left armpit up and over to the right. And then release. Now, we're going to do the other side. So go ahead and rotate your body to face the top edge of your mat, and then line up left foot in front of right leg. And again, we're going to step the block over to the other side, to the left hand. Right hand in a half skull, cover the side of your head. This is, you're placing your temple or your palm typically where the emblem on a football helmet would be. So your palm is right over your ear, thumb slides over the ear. Look straight ahead where your left toes are pointing. And remember, we're not trying to go down to the block or the book or wherever our left hand is. We're trying to go over it. So think about lifting the heart away from the points of contact on the floor. Keep your eyes forward, keep your breath steady. Push your hips to the right if you want to feel this more, but remember, your heart should feel buoyant, not like it's dropping to the left. It's like a ball being shot over a small fence or wall to the left. There's lift in the heart. And then release. Walk your hands back to the center, facing the long edge of your mat. We're going to lift that right knee one more time, and this time the feet are going to go wide. You can keep your hands on the block and just push it down, hands on the floor, hands on a book. Unlock your knees, don't bend them, just unlock them so you can push your butt back. Trying to lift the groin away from the floor even though your feet are sliding out and your hips are going lower. Chest is proud, glued to the front of the shirt. Toe heel your feet back in. And turn to the left, coming to the top edge of your mat. Step your right foot forward, hands on the knees. Lift your groin, pull it back so that there's a nice curve in your lumbar where I could pour water on your back and it would start to pool in your lumbar spine. Slide your hands down. This is going to be the one sort of challenging thing we're going to do today. Other than that, we're going to use the floor as leverage. But place your left fingers on the floor in front of your left toes and grab your right big toe with the first two fingers of your right hand. Lean to your left and lift your right leg to the right. Press through the heel and lower your right foot. Now slide your right foot back and lower your knee down and just draw your heart forward to stretch that flexor. Then slide right foot forward and place right hand in front of right foot. Grab left big toe. Lean to your right. Lift your left leg left. Breath is steady and smooth. And release. Lower the left foot. Slide it back. Lower the knee and lunge forward. And then toe heel, right foot left. Lower the right knee down, slide left knee back, and we've got a nice pigeon here to rest in. And since this is a slower practice and a breath practice, place your block if you have it, grab a pillow off the couch if you have that, and rest your forehead. Or just stack your hands and rest your head on your hands. Wherever you are, close your eyes so you can feel your body and appreciate everything it's giving you and appreciate all the cues of what it's not giving you so that we see where there's still work. Plant your hands. Slide your right foot back, lie on your chest. And for the second time today, we're going to reach left hand left, look to the right, roll to the left so your torso is facing right. The one thing we're going to do in addition to what we did last time is slide left knee forward towards the right hand. So left knee is bent 90 degrees and sliding towards your hand and your head. So if you're resting your head and you look down the bridge of your nose, you can see that left knee on the right edge of your mat. One last thing. Slide your right foot back, plant it flat, and point your bent right knee at the ceiling. Now push into left palm. Lower right knee and slide right leg straight. Slide left foot under the right foot and roll back onto your belly. Slide the left hand in. Slide your right hand out. Look to your left, rest your head. And with your left hand, push yourself onto your right side. Smooth, steady breath. Don't push into this pose as hard as you can, not even close. Remember, we're asking the body's permission. We're not going to take any movement or pose by force. Slide your right knee towards your left hand. Slide your left foot back, planted flat, with your left knee pointing at the ceiling. Push into the right palm. Slide the left foot straight out. Slide your right foot under your left foot. Roll back onto your belly. Leave your knees on the floor and push into a tabletop. Walk your hands back to your knees and sit to your heels. Reach your hands out to your sides. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your left arm underneath your right. Bend the elbows, and try to grab a hold of your right thumb with your left fingers, or place left fingers in right palm. And if those things, I hit my epic fail sound effect. Sorry, guys. Or if you can't hook your elbows at all, just grab your opposite shoulders, like you're going to give yourself a hug. You probably deserve one. So no matter where your hands are, just squeeze your elbows into your chest and lift your chest up. Look up. And see if you can't draw your fingers over your nose so that your fingers are reaching over the crown of your head. Keep pulling the groin back. And if you have your hands grabbing the opposite shoulder, just keep using your spine to push your heart up to the ceiling. Go ahead and release. Reach your arms out, take a deep breath in. We're going to do the other side. Bring your right arm under your left. Grab your opposite shoulders, or grab your left thumb with quote fingers, or place all fingertips in the left palm. And no matter what your hands are doing, lift your heart up to the ceiling and look up. Lifting your elbows away from your chest will help you create a shelf for your heart to rest on. But don't rest it there. Keep trying to use your spine to push your heart up to your elbows. And then release that. Walk your hands forward, and we're going to lie down one more time. Slide left hand left. Roll to your left. Slide left knee forward, bent 90 degrees towards the right hand. Slide right knee on top of left. Lift the right knee so there's a gap between your knees, and right hand reaches for right big toe. Elbows on the inside of the knee. And then push your right heel to the ceiling while you push your left knee into the floor. Rest the head, drive through the right heel, and try to separate your knees. So push your left knee and your left palm into the floor. Left knee and left palm push into the floor. Bend the right knee slowly. Let go of the foot, straighten the right leg. Slide the left foot under the right. And roll to the belly and to the right side. Reach to the right. Roll to the right. Slide right knee as it bends towards the left hand. Slide left knee on top of that. Reach between your knees for your left big toe. You can also place your left hand on the outside of your left knee and push your knees apart, left knee into left hand, right knee into the floor. But if you can grab your big toe, even if you can't straighten your leg, just push into the heel. And remember, push your right knee and right palm into the floor. So that's where we're getting our stability. The side of the head, the outside of the right knee, the palm of the right hand forms a nice little triangle so that the left heel can just press to sky. Release. Let go of your left foot, slide your left leg straight, slide your right foot underneath it, roll onto your belly. Leave your knees on the floor and push into a tabletop. Slide the knees forward so that you can sit to heels at the center of your mat. Rest your palms on your thighs, close your eyes, and feel the blood coursing through your veins. We're going to lift the hips and sit to the left of the feet and turn to the long edge of the mat to the right. Live yoga is really hard. It's mostly that I need somebody to control stuff. I've had so many fails trying to control things from my phone, taped to my wrist or whatever. We're in Sukhasana. If you haven't abandoned me yet, thanks for sticking with it. Grab your right big toe with the quote fingers of your right hand. Lift up tall and proud, root the sitting bones. Take your right foot off the floor, and then show your foot forward and push through the heel. Remember, your leg doesn't have to be straight. You're just trying to make it straighter. Getting it straighter is the path to straight. Release. We're going to switch the legs. Bring the left foot in front. Grab the left big toe with the left quote fingers. Sit up tall, root the sitting bones, pull the foot off the floor, show it to the person in front of you, which is you, and then push through the heel. Now your left sitting bone should be getting a lot heavier here. So this is pretty common to lean to the right, to hold the left leg up, and my left butt cheek isn't even on the floor. I'm on my right hip. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're just trying to feel sitting bones anchored instead of lifting off the floor. If the sitting bone's anchored, the pelvis is anchored, and then like a pot of soil, a plant can grow. That would be your spine. Release. Bring the soles of your feet together and press your elbow or your knees down while you lift your heart up. And then slide your feet back, Upavista Konasana. Separate your feet, peel them off the floor. Show your feet to the camera as I show you mine or your screen, and then press through your heels. Use your grip of your big toes to try to pull your heart through. And release. Go ahead and turn your feet to the top of your mat. Place your butt on the center, facing the short side. Plant your hands, plant your feet. Lift your butt an inch, and then push your knees over your toes, and that might lift your heels. Look up, but you're not trying to press your groin up into the air. You're just trying to push your knees forward and keep your hands flat. And release. Right leg straight. Bring your left foot to your right inner thigh. Grab your right foot with your left hand. Slide your right hand to the right. And there's this gap between your right ankle and your left thumb. You're trying to pull your heart over that line. Hold the floor down with your right fingers and try to pull your right foot towards your belly with your left arm. Push through the right heel. Release. Grab your right big toe with your right hand or grab the edge of your foot. Lean to your left and lift the right glute. Turn your chest to the left. Relax your head and neck. Keep turning the heart away from the right foot as the right foot tries to push away from the hips. release. Slide your left foot out and grab your left foot with your right hand. And then place your left hand on the floor and try to pull your heart over that line that you would draw from your left thumb to your left ankle. Engage the quad to drive the heel. Lift the heart and try to pull it forward. Grab the edge of your foot or your big toe, place your right hand on your knee, lean to the right, and slowly turn your head away from your left foot so you can't see it. Try to turn your heart away from your left foot. As much as you can, relax your neck so that your ear melts towards the floor. Think of it as just warm wax. It's slowly melting. Release. Lie down on your backs. Plant your feet behind your butt cheeks, knees are pointing at the ceiling. Reach your arms out to your sides, 90 degrees, palms are down. Lift your feet off of the floor so that your thigh bones are perpendicular to the earth. You can just let the lower leg hang off the knee. And slowly lower your knees to the left without letting them touch the floor or separate. Turn your head to the right. So my knees have deviated about 45 degrees. And again, the left knee did not come to the floor, and the right knee and left knee did not separate. Imagine trying to hold a small book between your knees. Now lift your knees to the center, look up, and as you turn your head to the left, lower your knees about 45 degrees to the right without them resting on the floor and without your knees separating. Inhale, lift the knees, lift the gaze. Exhale, look to the right, send your knees to the left, keep them together and away from the floor. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, knees to the right, turn your head to the left. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your knees, and look to the right. And this time let your knees go all the way to the floor, to your left, even if they slide away from your left hand, even if your right foot slides somewhere else. Just sort of let your body go limp here. Now, if this is a nice stretch through the side for you, you can stay right where you are. And if you want to go deeper, you could slide your right knee to your left hand and hold it in place. And you could slide left knee towards the top edge of your mat and left foot to right hand. Reach the right hand down for the left foot and pull your heel towards your glute. And then just try to square your shoulder blades off to the floor. Chest turns to the ceiling. Deep breath. Wherever you are, release. And we're going to plant the feet, recenter the hips, and switch sides. Lift your feet, lower your knees all the way to the right, and turn your head to the left. And going limp might just be where you want to be today. Just letting everything soften. Let everything go. Or you might want that more pretzel-y variation. Hold your left knee with your right hand and slide right big toe towards left hand and reach left hand for the top of the right foot. Hold your left knee down and left shoulder down. Try to breathe into the bottom of your lungs even though you're in that twist. Release your knee and foot if you grab them. Plant your feet and recenter your hips. And then lift both feet, push both heels to the ceiling and hold your hamstrings. Push your heels to the ceiling, pull your thigh bones down into your hips, and push your hamstrings into your hands. So we're very active here through the legs. Plant your palms flat, thumbs behind your butt cheeks, kick your feet over your head. You don't have to drop your toes to the floor or your knees to your ears. In fact, try pointing your big toes at the wall behind the crown of your head. So again, we're really active through the legs. And if you can, keep your legs straight, lower the knees towards the forehead. Make sure you're pressing into the back of your head so that there's at least a small amount of space between the back of your neck and the floor. Don't let your cervical spine flatten because of your legs above you. Place your hands on your kidneys. They're above your butt, below your shoulders. And lift your legs, not all the way to the ceiling, but so that your shins are over your eyes, and allow your butt to spill into your hands. In other words, there's not a straight line from my shoulders to my heels. My body from the side looks like a greater or less than sign, not like a straight line. Now draw the knees towards the forehead until the weight of the hips comes off the hands. Place your hands back on the floor, bend your knees, and roll the spine down gently to the floor. Plant your heels with your knees bent and lift your butt off the floor. Bind your hands underneath you, tuck your shoulder blades, and try to slide your knuckles between your heels as your heels try to slide back to either side of your fists. Release your bound hands under your butt. Lower your hips to the floor. And come into Shavasana, or therapeutic rest with your feet planted, knees resting against each other, hands reaching above your head. Or sit up in Sukhasana, meditation pose. Wherever you are, breathe deep. Relax your jaw. Soften the muscles around your cheekbones, above and between the eyebrows. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this slower pace class. And please feel free to make a donation to our live classes if it's available to you. We're all worried about money right now, so I get it. And we need yoga more than ever. If you can spare it to support the channel, it's much appreciated. And if not, I still appreciate you. And you can always help spread the word that these live yoga classes are taking place every day. That helps us out too. And beyond that, I'll leave you guys to a nice meditation or to a nice shavasana. The highest compliment you could pay me is to fall asleep. So I hope you're feeling easeful. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. Namaste.